Good afternoon from Cebu Airport and welcome to a new video. Today I'm flying to Siargao with Cebu Pacific and the flight is operated with Cebgo with an ATR72. It's my first time on this aircraft and also the first time with this airline, so I'm pretty excited for this flight. And I already went through check-in and security, which went pretty fast. And now I have more than 3 hours to kill until my flight departs. So let's check out the terminal, which seems pretty new. I think they must have opened it only a few years ago.
Alright, first let me apologize for this poor sound quality at the beginning of the video. I was sitting in front of the air condition and I didn't notice it being that loud until I was editing the video. Back to this airport, this new domestic terminal was opened in early 2020. The Cebu Pacific check-in counters were not too busy this day, so checking in for my flight was quick and efficient. So now we are airside, security control only took a couple minutes. I decided to have lunch at Jollibee's, and that's a Filipino fast food chain, and it was actually the only affordable place at the airport. And the cheapest thing there you can get is a hamburger. It costs 48 pesos, which is less than $1. My gate for this flight is a bus gate, which is one floor downstairs. My aircraft is arriving from Osamis, so boarding should start soon. The aircraft for this flight is a 6-year-old ATR72-600. Something common about this aircraft, cargo is going in through the front door and passengers through the back door. Let's have a look at my seat now. On this flight I'll be sitting in 5B. Legroom is a bit tight. Up here there's a safety card and a magazine which we'll check out later. And here's a small seat pocket.
In water. Do not inflate the life vest inside the aircraft. Please be reminded that unauthorized removal of... Put it over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Cabin crew shall assist in the administration of oxygen after a decompression.
The flight time from Cebu to Siargao is usually just around 40 minutes. My flight for this day was 1 hour and 40 minutes long, but more about that later. For now, please enjoy the takeoff. Only after a few minutes, our cruising altitude was reached. As mentioned earlier, in the seat pocket in front of you there's the safety card. Cebgo also sells drinks on board, but if you want to have snacks you have to pre-order them. Cebu Pacific's in-flight magazine is called Smile. They advertise some destinations there, like Siargao, where I'm going to today, but also Boracay and Bohol. I've been to these places and I had an amazing time there. I can highly recommend these islands. Cebu Pacific operates tons of domestic flights, most of them starting in Cebu or Manila. Besides that, they have a flight to Dubai and many flights to the Asia Pacific region. We weren't flying on a high altitude, and that's why I actually had service on board.
Ability still poor. Will advise you for proceeding back to Malta. We sincerely apologize for this. This will be under airline's control. I'll call you back in 15 minutes for any further updates. Thank you.
So sadly the weather over Siargao wasn't good. It was not safe to land and that's why we had to fly back to Cebu. There's nothing you can really do about, so after almost 2 hours we were flying back to the original airport.
So we got diverted due to the weather, and yeah, there's nothing you could do, and well, safety was first. Well, tomorrow there's only 2 flights to Siargao, one 5 AM flight and then one at 3 PM. And sadly the 5 AM flight was full, so they rebooked me on the 3 PM flight. But apparently I was still lucky because there was another passenger who was booked on the flight the day after tomorrow. As it was due to weather, I'm also not entitled to get accommodation, so I'm going to a hostel now, which I paid like $20 for the night. So yeah, this trip ended a bit disappointing, but anyways, thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you next week for the next video.
Well, the video is actually not over yet. The day after, it was time for my second attempt to finally reach Siargao.
Hi sir, they have your plate.
The aircraft model was the same for this flight, still an ATR72, however the seats looked a bit different. Only a day later I finally made it to Siargao. I was so happy that I finally made it to this island. Well, thank you very much for joining me on those 2 flights, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy your weekend, and I hope to see you again next week for the next video.